it going, everybody? Hope you're having a good day today. Yeah, it's another Tubi episode. I wanted to talk about the top 10 classic cartoons available to watch on Tubi. Tubi's got a lot of stuff on there for free. If you like to watch your Saturday morning cartoons, there's a lot available on there. But I'm going to go into the top 10 classic cartoons available on Tubi right now for free. Number 10, Yogi Bear Show from 1962. Centering on the misadventures of Yogi Bear, who often tries to steal picnic baskets from the residents of Jellystone Park. This cartoon debuted in 1961 and was produced by Hanna-Barbera. It was syndicated for 2 years until syndicated. Debuted in 61 and it was produced by Hanna-Barbera. Number 9 is Inspector Gadget from 1983. The show was inspired by Maxwell Smart from the Get Smart television series. It is about a cyborg detective named Gadget. The original series debuted in 1983 and ended in 1985. It is now available on Tubi to watch. The character has continued throughout the 90s in different TV and film adaptations and is currently in syndication on Canadian television. All right, moving on to number 8, we have Mask from 1985. The acronym stands for Mobile Armored Strike Command and was an action figure franchise developed by Hasbro. Back when they made good toys and they weren't so pricey. The cartoon series centers around the group fighting the evil force known as Venom. Mask is a fun-to-watch action cartoon and is recommended if you haven't seen it. I know the toys are pretty awesome. I had some of them myself. Number 7, Johnny Quest. An adventure cartoon inspired by radio serials and comics that started in 1964 and ran for 1 season on ABC. It was produced by Hanna-Barbera and revolves around a boy who accompanies his scientist father on an extraordinary adventure. All right. Next on the list, number 6 is The Jetsons. The original series was broadcasted in 1962. It is an animated sitcom revolving around a family that is from the future. The Jetsons had 24 episodes that ran all the way up until 1963. The series was revived 22 years later in 1985 and ran until November of 1987. All right, number 5, G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, 1983. We have the original miniseries that was released by Marvel in 1983 and the miniseries that was released in 1989 by DIC Productions. They launched G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero toy line in 1982. In 1983, the series was released centering on the battle between G.I. Joe and the enemy known as Cobra. The UK released their version and titled it Action Force. Number 4, Tom and Jerry, 1964. The theatrical shorts created and produced by Hanna-Barbera in 1940 and ran for 161 short films centering on the rivalry of a grumpy, hungry cat known as Tom and his cute and clever mouse named Jerry. Number 3, The Flintstones, 1960. This is an animated sitcom taking place in a Stone Age setting and revolving around the lives of Fred and Wilma Flintstones and their neighbors, the Rubbles. The show originally aired in 1960 and ran until 1966. It was produced by Hanna-Barbera and was the first animated series to gain a primetime slot on television. Moving on to number 2, we have Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Following the adventures of 4 teenagers and their dog Scooby-Doo, who travel in a van known as the Mystery Machine, as they solve a variety of mysteries from supposed haunted places. Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? First aired in 1969 on Saturday morning CBS and ran until December of 1978. Okay, before we get to number 1, I'm going to and let you know about some runner-ups. These didn't make the list, but sure are worth the check out maybe if you have a Saturday morning itch to scratch. Woody Woodpecker from 1941, The Smurfs from 1989, and Popeye from 1939. These are the runner-ups. They didn't make the list, top 10. That's all right. They're still good. There's a lot of them out there. There's a lot more cartoons available on Tubi. Okay. Finally, we get to the number one slot. And I'm giving it the number one slot because it's definitely my favorite cartoon available on Tubi. All of these are worth your while. All of these are going to give you value for not having to pay for them. And number one is the Transformers Generation 1, 1987. The franchise revolves around two alien robot factions at war known as the Autobots and Decepticons, which can transform into vehicles and animals. The original series, also known as Generation 1, began in 1984 and ran until 1993. The toys were produced by the series, as well as the toys, were produced by Hasbro and Takari, a Japanese toy company. It would ultimately become the highest-grossing media franchise of all time, generating more than $25 billion in revenue. Nice. All right, that's it. I'm glad you stuck around for this video. I'm glad you listened. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And peace.